All right, guys, welcome to this week's Burnt Toast. Again, my name is Magnum, your host. We got Dre, Kev, and Shorty in the building. And today we want to talk about, like, why do you guys think young kids don't have respect for, like, the older generation's art or just, like, stuff that comes from, like, their parents and whatnot?
I think it's because stuff's so advanced for when they come out that it just seems so antiquated. Kind of like the same thing, like, for us when, like, our grandmothers still had a rotary phone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you were just a little kid, like, playing with it.
Yeah.
And then you realize, like, what it was, and you're like, why do you have to spin the 9 6 times?
I guess
when
what
I can
gets
just hit 9 on my phone right now.
what gets me the most is especially because I do music, it's just like they have no respect for like older generation music. Where me is like, I'm not gonna lie, there was times I thought my mom's music was whack, but as I got into my teens, I started liking it. I was like, yo, this is kind of dope. Because they used to listen to like 70s rock, 60s music, and a bunch of like Spanish stuff that I still don't like, but it's cool to sample.
Vicente Fernandez.
Vicente Fernandez, Bronco, who else? Los Temerarios. Like, yo, it's crazy. If you ever want to be depressed on a Saturday or any day really of the week, throw on Los Temerarios, you'll cry. Trust me. Every one of their songs sounds like I'm about to slip my wrist right now. But I also think
because it may, at least in Hispanic and Latino culture, when that came on, you were cleaning. So I think maybe people just have carry a negative connotation to it because you wanted to sleep in 9 a.m. Your mom's making noise, putting all the pans out
as loud as she can.
Yo, God forbid you dropped the fork at midnight.
I feel like the famous thing that people do, especially in hip hop, people disrespect Tupac for some reason. Now, I'm not the biggest Tupac fan, but I respect his legacy as an artist, as someone that is a pioneer in hip hop music, in the sense of displaying his thoughts, being political, being outspoken. I think I like Tupac the persona better than I like Tupac the rapper. And that's not to insult his work. It's just his style was just not for me. But he has great classics, great songs. I just think overall as a body of work, I like a little bit of it rather than the whole catalog. And but I see a lot of artists disrespect his name, and I'm like, why'd you guys pick Tupac out of all?
Put some respect on his name.
Who, Tekashi?
Well, not only Tekashi, but all those the mumble rappers. I don't even know their names, but
Lifeboat.
Who?
Lifeboat.
Who's that?
Little Yachty.
Right here, yeah.
Oh, Little Boat.
Little Yachty.
Little Yachty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he disrespected
him.
He disrespected Tupac. So my thing is why disrespect a legend? You know what I'm saying?
I also think some of the younger generation just don't take time to learn about history.
That's what I was gonna say. It comes down to the fact of just pure ignorance.
They don't think. How about that?
Because if you some of these kids are 18, 19 years old, so old for them is
30.
Nelly Hutton here. You know what I mean? So
50 Cent.
Yeah. So in reality, you gotta go back to Wu-Tang.
I think
Big L, Biggie,
we're also in a
Tupac.
generation where even though all information is literally at your fingertips, people still kind of need to be spoon fed. Oh, we're gonna feed you this. So they only learn what is forced upon them.
But I think it happens more in music than other media forms.
That is true. I don't
Because,
really see too many people disrespecting movies,
or art. Some of these younger kids, the hipsters, love these older movies.
I think they're more influential. Also, music. I mean, movies matter too, but I feel because music plays a big part of everyone's life, no matter what type of walk of life you're in. So,
Nice for What is sampled 6 times, and people think it's oh, he just sampled Lauryn Hill, but Lauryn Hill sampled Gladys Knight or something like that.
I forget who she sampled, but yeah, she sampled somebody else as well.
So the song has been sampled 6 times, and people this is the hottest thing ever. And the older generation it's been in 3 songs already.
Yeah,
yeah. That's one thing that I feel I don't know. I just feel they could do a better job as kind of you don't have to be an expert on the topic, but if you're gonna speak on it,
or respect it,
respect it.
At least be somewhat knowledgeable.
I feel I never disrespected the Beatles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You never disrespected them?
Yeah, no, I feel even though when I was younger, I didn't understand their music in the sense of like I didn't get why people liked it, and I kind of was like, I'm not into it. But I say they're actually one of my favorite bands of all time. Now I'm like, oh, I love the Beatles, and I did my research. I saw a lot of documentaries. Matter of fact, a lot of when I have writer's block, I put a lot of Beatles documentaries on because most of the times in the documentaries, they're just having fun, like in the process of recording the album. And I don't know, they talk about a lot of writer's blocks that they have and a lot of strategies that they use to like get rid of that. So, you know, I watched their documentaries to get inspired. Like, how can I get out of it too?
Yeah.
So like I have a lot of respect for them. And I feel like there has to be someone that comes in and kind of closes that gap between the young generation and old. Like I hate to hate on them. Like if that makes sense.
I think a perfect example of somebody bridging the old and the new was the exhibit we went to go see, Murakami.
Okay, yeah.
And how he blends in like old Japanese style of art with like some street style, like graffiti, 3D, like pop images, stuff like that. So he's like he's a perfect mix for it. And I think that forces people to be like, oh, once they read like what his influences are, it forces people to then, oh, let me check out what, ancient Japanese or older generation Japanese art is to see where he got this inspiration for that. Because like some of the dragons he has on an exhibit is just like classic like ancient Japanese art.
Yeah.
But then he puts like spray paint or like graffiti style designs on it, and like that's what makes it pop for the newer generation. So I think like doing that with like music and other forms of like
I think in film we don't see it too much. Like I think, but I mean.
Well, there's like stuff like filters.
I feel like we disrespect. I feel like our generation disrespected old films. Like we will put like stuff like Scarface over like other classics like Gone in the Wind. Whereas in like now we grow a little bit older and wiser. And
Gone in the Wind is like a 6-hour movie. You're like, oh. But like at the end of the day, like the story,
it's like a classic.
The story and everything else is like. It's amazing.
Yeah, and so like I remember we used to disrespect movies a lot though. Like we'd be like West Side Story, that's whack. Like Grease, but now we look at it, we're like
Grease is a classic.
Grease is a classic.
I like it.
I don't think I ever seen anybody that hated on Grease though.
Grease.
Any
of the sequels, trash.
Yeah, any of the sequels were trash. But
Grease 2, Sandlot 2 was the biggest disappointment ever.
We got to do a Burnt Toast talking about movies like classics. Maybe we could get Axel here since he wants to be a movie maker.
His middle name is a movie.
I mean, like, I don't see him moving, I
just want to see him have the same energy he has off camera.
Nate, what's your top 5 movies, Axel? I'll say it into the mic.
Oh, you got the wrong guy.
Oh, what's a movie you find yourself watching the most? Any stage ever.
Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan.
I'll agree with him on this. Saving Private Ryan is the equivalent to guys as The Notebook is to women.
I seen it. I think it's a classic.
I need to see it, obviously.
Like as a guy, you kind of tear up at the end. Same thing with The Notebook.
I don't really want to tear up.
Oh, in that sense, okay.
In that sense, I think Saving Private Ryan is the equivalent to The Notebook for guys.
Not gonna lie, I cried to Paid in Full.
What?
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But no, this. I mean, died. If you guys got topics for Burnt Toast, let us know. Please. These are topics we love to expand on, and just touch on. So, leave us a DM. Our producer Axel will answer. Even when you're not even looking for a response, he'll answer you.
You might just pop up on your story.
It may be 2 a.m.
Just know tonight we got this.
You up, big head? You up, big head?
Remember, tonight we got the city, 8:00, 52 Russell Street, Cambridge. Be there. You can see the crew live, and we have conversations like these all the time. So don't be shy. Come talk to us. Peace.